Hey everyone, we're back with another Faction Warriors run here in the Mojave, and while we're not playing as the king of 18 karat luck himself, a chairman will do just as well. Now before we talk about what we're working with, I know what you're thinking. Hey, there aren't any female chairmen. That is true, however, there were plans for female chairmen, so we can just chalk this up to our own way of restoring just a bit of this great game's cut content. Cool? Cool. Now, let's get into it. If you're new here, first off, welcome. Great to have you along for the ride. Just know that in Faction Warriors, our units all have the same special allocation, and in stark contrast to the Fallout runs we do here on this channel, Faction Warriors doesn't take any lore or in-character decisions into consideration. Our protagonist is entirely mechanical, and I like to switch things up when it comes to picking a male and female. So, Chairman, here's our available gear. We don't have anything amazing, but it's pretty cool to be able to use silenced 22 weapons and the straight razor. The one rule that carries over from my typical runs is that we can use any variant of the gear available to us, so we can use the weathered 10mm pistol from the courier stash, and Maria when we kill Benny, though I don't think we'll be using the latter at all. Since we are trying to go as fast as possible, we won't be obtaining everything on this list unless we somehow get our hands on a riot shotgun, which I think for our level range is going to be off of a great con during the Hoover Dam battle. I doubt we'll need it even then, which is a shame because this is a pretty fun assortment of weaponry. Our snazzy business suit gives us a small bonus to speech, which is cool, but not entirely relevant since we always get 100 to speech by the end anyway to bypass the battles of Lanius and Oliver. Speaking of skills, you saw our special allocation earlier, but let's cover it anyway. 5 strength, 5 perception, 8 endurance, 1 charisma, 4 intelligence, 7 agility, 10 luck. 4 intelligence is the minimum required for educated, and I get that with a higher intelligence we'd have earlier access to speech courtesy of our abundance of skill points, but we really don't need that much. 8 endurance gives us a bit more hit points, and 10 luck means we crit as if we have the finesse perk, and considering the crit modifier of the 22 weapons, I'd say it's a good investment. We'd be using that allocation regardless, but it is cool to see how that worked out for us here this time around. Tagged skills, you saw them, but we'll cover them anyway. They're guns, medicine, and speech. Speech we already talked about. Medicine gives us a bit better healing, and guns because our best weapons are all small caliber firearms. I always thought it was real weird that Obsidian combined small and big guns, which we've had since the first game, and Fallout 3 was also faithful to that design. I guess Sawyer and his buddies think that firing a BB gun and a minigun require the same skill and training, and hey, sign me up if that's true because I want to live in a universe where that exists. For the traits, we always take skilled for more skill points and Logan's Loophole. Skilled and good-natured would also get us to speech faster, but we want the effects of Logan's Loophole, and by effects, I mean never having to worry about addiction, and chems last double the length, as if we have Day Tripper right out of the gate, and those do stack. That is part of our strategy for the late game. Thing with Logan's Loophole is you can never exceed level 30, which is just fine because in Faction Warriors we are never anywhere near level 30 by the end of these runs. As usual, in Faction Warriors after we clear out the bottle shooting tutorial, we are allowed to use the varmint rifle there because, well, they're bottles, and I count it as a quest item because Sunny gives you one. We go about our standard Good Springs errands, grab the safe from Good Springs School, and then kill Joe Cobb for a stealth boy. After taking down the ambitious powder ganger, undetected, so we'll have safe passage to our next destination. We're gonna need both of those a little bit later on, so let's go and start exploring locations so we can check off Yes Man's little checklist once we make contact with him, and we start with Hidden Valley. Now, we don't have to go through this passage, but the bark scorpions are pretty easy to kill and provide good XP yield for this point in the game. We also have anti-venom in case we get poisoned, which we do here, but other than that, it's no problem. While we are trying to go fast, not necessarily speedrun style, we do still need experience points and caps to get stronger and buy items with. We get pretty good luck with the drops this time around, and hey, we actually get to use the knife on something besides the mantises. Next up, we're going to take a fun little shortcut to gain early access to Red Rock Canyon. Thanks to the stealth boy we grabbed from Good Spring School, our first of 2, we can sneak through Cazador Pass. It is worth noting that the stealth boy does not make this a freebie. Cazadors have the best perception in the game, and we don't have silent running, so we are still vulnerable here. If we get spotted, we better hope we're hugging that mountainside, otherwise we're gonna get swarmed and killed pretty quickly. Not only that, but there are the raiders in Bonnie Springs, so if we're not sneaking, we can get attacked by them. There is a really awesome unarmed weapon there, 11 hate, but we can't use it this time around, and we wouldn't make time for it even if we could because that would be a real-time sink. Fortunately for us, we get through this time with no issue on either side, so let's go ahead and head to Red Rock Canyon. Allegedly, we only have to explore Red Rock Canyon in order to satisfy Yes Man's criteria, but that hasn't worked for me. So for Faction Warriors, we talked to Papa Khan for our routing. I mean, what better way to make contact with this tribe than to talk to the head honcho himself? We never have to return, though I will later on to buy some chems from Jack, which will also give us a little bit of XP for exploring Red Rock Canyon's chem lab. Speaking of raiders, our first big battle is coming up, and in order to get some of our more crucial fast travel points, we have to battle at least one of the Fiend leaders. Cook makes the most sense, because battling Violet, well, we still have to get past Nephi, so that's a waste of time. Nephi's goons are somewhat competent, and we can't say the same for Cook squared. By killing Queenie, his, special friend, he'll go berserk and attack his minions. Sometimes they kill him, and fortunately for us, they do here, and the Fiend leader takes a couple of his goons down with him, so clean up with our 10mm pistol, our weathered one, is easy peasy. After looting Cook, it's smooth sailing from here. Next up, obligatory mention of El Dorado Substation. And then we're going to pay a quick visit to Freeside's East Gate. Chatting with our boy Dixon here, we can buy some chems and build up for Day Tripper. And yes, I know, we could just drink the booze from Trudy at the start of the run. However, Dixon has buff out on him, and when you kill him, he has at least one stim pack. And it's funny because I had to do this actually pretty short run in multiple segments because life gets in the way. I actually did part of this run in a hardcore mode, and the others I didn't. I'll find that out a little bit later, but I thought it was pretty funny. It really is just a force of habit at this point. I do like to change things up every now and then and go normie mode, because I'm a normie myself. Isn't that right there, Georgie boy? And I just realized we have not killed this guy with a silenced 22 weapon yet. That's pretty cool. Now, if you're curious and if you're new here, back in my first season of Faction Wars, I used to kill this guy because 427 bottle caps, that's just over a fifth of what you need for the credit check. But a very helpful viewer pointed out to me that taking the monorail would be a fair bit faster, and yeah, I have to say, they're right. But hey, killing Georgie boy for those 427 bottle caps, that's just part of the routing at this point. And yes, we leveled up off of getting Day Tripper while doing the Boomers of Nellis artillery barrage. Never happened before, I thought that was awesome. And we've made contact with the Boomers here, so we're gonna go ahead and steal from Mother Pearl because we are never ever coming back here. I'm sure hoping that they don't go looking through their lockers, otherwise they're probably gonna bombard New Vegas. That's fine because the Faction Warriors don't care about New Vegas anyway, so I say let them go at it. And you gotta love the security here. They don't even try to pat you down, they don't verify if you've been let through or not. Well, now that we breached the security of the most powerful nation on the West Coast, after chatting with Victor and learning who he actually is, we're gonna continue to check off Yes Man's little checklist by checking in with our boy Mortimer here. It's in the same sector as the Tops and the place we just came from, so I figured that will save us a little bit of time. And because we're playing as a female, instead of confirmed bachelor, we have Black Widows, so we don't have to go to Mr. House to unlock the option to speech check Swank to get us to get alone with Benny. No, we can just Black Widow him with a 1 charisma. Because 1 charisma is what we always think about when it comes to seducing. After killing Benny, we find our buddy Yes Man. We're gonna go outside, and before we head on over to Mr. House, we are approached by Wolpez, despite the fact we just pulled a weapon on him right in his face. You really got to admire that man's dedication to duty, not even flinching at the sight of it. And hey, that's experience, and Wolpez tends to give us the best VATS kills in this series. It's not a time sink if you're VATSing Wolpez or Georgia boy. Alright, next up, we're gonna go check in with the Omertas, and then we're gonna head on over to Mr. House now that we have the Platinum chip in our possession. You gotta just think what's going through this guy's head. He's like, oh man, this courier, we're a faction warrior, buddy, not a courier. Already got the Platinum chip, well ahead of schedule. Not as planned, but even better than planned. And yeah, we went to the Strip North Gate before going to Mr. House, sorry for that interruption, because we need that fast travel point, otherwise getting back here is going to be kind of a pain. By using the Platinum chip to bypass the science check, we make it through the Securitrons. I mean, hey, Mr. House, if nothing else, has much better security than the entirety of the NCR. We reward Mr. House by shaving him down to size. We had to use that weapon somewhere, right? Now, before the final battle in El Dorado Substation, all we gotta do is do the Brotherhood's little errand here. It's unfortunate that Ranger Dobson is outside, but whatever, we can pass the 50 speech check, get a bit of experience points, and then head on to El Dorado Substation. Nah, just kidding, we're at Hoover Dam. For some reason, the NCR did not attack us, and we're not disguised either. entering that place, despite the fact that it's supposed to be guarded with extreme prejudice. After disposing of the great cons, hey, there's our riot shotgun. Shame we're not going to be using it this run. Why use a great upgraded shotgun when you have a perfectly serviceable weathered 10mm pistol? Now, you might think I'm joking around, but the weathered 10mm is actually a pretty solid weapon for our level range. Although the NCR Ranger and our Securitron are the real MVPs against the Kenturians, so let's go ahead and get some kills for ourselves. That counts as ours. As we make our way to the next squad, just know that our perks are Black Widow, Educated, and Bloody Mess for that sweet 5% damage. Combined with the damage buff we get against melee units from Black Widow, we're dealing an extra 15%, and we have a chance, pretty decent with 10 luck, you'd think, to not just kill things faster, but to make them explode like we're using Corpse Explosion from Diablo 2. There's a game I missed. There's a game I kinda wanna let's play at some point. Against Dumb and Dumber, we envenom our Straight Razor and cut through their heavy armor with it and take them down. Once we go to the terminal and install the override chip, we have to make our way to a fun little button to turn Hoover Dam into Happy Festival fireworks, and we're gonna have some action along the way because, I mean, it's Fallout New Vegas, man, we want some combat. And we can see that crit modifier of the Silence 22 in action. Check out that damage, man. What was that, like 2/3 of that Ranger's health? That was awesome. Now, before we move forward, there's one more Ranger to take care of. I was in a bit of tunnel vision here, but it wasn't too much of a problem. I am trying to avoid hitting our Securitron. Don't know if it turns hostile or not, but I don't want to find out. We hit that button, celebrate the 4th of July a little bit early, pop the stealth boy we got from our buddy Joe Cobb at the start of the run, and he really is the unsung hero of this series. Because we get to see Logan's Loophole in action here. Logan's Loophole plus Day Tripper plus Stealth Boy equals have fun fighting, guys. We're gonna go have a chat with your boss. That's right, the mighty Legate Lanius, the Butcher of the East, the Monster of the East. I think he's both of those things, I don't know. There's only one force in this world who can get him to back down without a fight. A force so mighty, it was a scourge in the pre-war era as well. Even the mighty Kaisar overlooked this important historical detail, or he ignored it, because as we talk to Legate Lanius, we are channeling the power of Karen, and he's going away, because Lanius is technically the manager here. And so is General Oliver. You can tell he just does not want to deal with our shenanigans right now. Now, in Faction Warriors, we use in-game time. I did backtrack over to New Vegas Medical Clinic and the Red Rock Chem Lab to get supplies. With that in mind, we clock in with a time of 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 52 seconds. And on screen now are some runs you can look forward to in the future, such as Fallout 3 Broken Steel as Amada Almodovar, and our next run, Fallout New Vegas as Arcade Gannon. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you at the next video. Take it easy.